Okay. Strategic tip number 4 is trigger moments. So, as we talked about in tool number 3, the cue. The cue is really, really important. It's the moment that we start thinking about the thing that we want to implement. So, we can create these cues throughout our day that make us think of our goal, the big picture, our habit that we want to create. So, if you're trying to be more active, maybe you set an alarm on your phone when you know that you like are going to be done with lunch, or you know you have some downtime in your day during this time, or you know in the evening you have like this window. So can you set an alarm that's going to cue you or trigger you to implement the new habit that you're trying to create? And this can be similar to like the habit stacking. So if you eat lunch at the same time every day, can you set that alarm to remind you to take the walk, but then that also becomes the habit, like that becomes the stacking in your day. That's what eventually happens. But first comes us responding to that cue or that trigger. So other ways that you can do this is simply like setting yourself up. And, an example I used previously, it's like if you want to drink more water, can you put the water on your nightstand so that it's a cue that every time that you either wake up or go to bed, you're remembering to fill that water? Can you keep a water bottle in your car? So it's just a cue every time you see it. Can you keep a water bottle by your sink, or a glass that you always, every time you're in the kitchen, you just pound a glass of water? So it's just creating these little things throughout the day that trigger our brain that are like, oh, I remember. I remember I was trying to implement this thing. So get creative with this. Get creative with ways that you can trigger yourself. Obviously, the phone alarm, setting an alarm is a very easy, clean cut, strategic way to do it. And that can be anything. Like it could be, I want to implement affirmations in my life. Okay, well, at this time, my alarm goes off, and maybe the alarm says the affirmation like, I'm safe, I'm secure, I'm happy. Boom, 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. I am safe, I'm secure, I'm happy. Or maybe it's that you get these little post-it notes and you start sticking them everywhere so that it becomes part of your routine, whether you're in your planner, whether you're looking in your bathroom mirror, or whether you're in your car. You have these little affirmation cards everywhere to remind you, I am a person that does affirmations. I am a person that makes time for affirmations. I am a person that believes that my mindset can change my life. Therefore, I put these little sticky notes all around my house to remind me of the path I'm on or where I'm going. Same thing with the sticky note thing. That could also be your cue for XYZ. So there are lots of different ways that you can create these cues for yourself. The most important thing is that you just think it through. And maybe you've heard like this is a horrible, please don't, like, I'm not promoting this, but I'm sure you've seen like when you're on a diet, you put like a picture of like your not so great self on the refrigerator, and that like hinders you from eating a snack because every time you look at that picture, you're like, oh. So it does work both ways. The trigger or the cue can also be something that would hinder you from taking that action. So get creative on this. And again, spend some time with like, where do you need a cue or a trigger? Where do you need to eliminate one? And that is it for strategic tip number 4.